Cozy games, don't we all love them so much? Let's talk about my top 10 out of 10 cozy games. But before we get started, plot twist, there's something that's been on my mind considering cozy games and I want to chat with you about it. So if you're here just for the 10 out of 10 cozy games, everything is just like linked in the chapters for you so you can skip on right ahead. But if you're in for some fun discussion, then stay with me. Alright, we need to settle what a cozy game is because I feel like some of the recent pics I've seen on YouTube videos and vlogs make absolutely no sense. I posted on Twitter and YouTube community about some of the game pics that recent cozy game videos and blog posts have been adding for viewers to buy. So there was this discussion about how are we going to define cozy games moving forward? Is it a game that makes you subjectively feel cozy and relaxed, even if that means killing hordes of zombies in Days Gone or clickers in The Last of Us? Or is it a game that has minimum to no combat with more or less slice of life and life sim elements? In my humble opinion, there should be a distinction, which many of you suggested as well, and I'm so happy that you guys think the same thing because I was just losing faith in this. My biggest problem here is when a viewer is searching for cozy games to play on PC, PlayStation, Switch, whatever floats their boat, let's be real here, they are not looking for heavy RPGs, JRPGs, horror games, or first-person shooters, even if these are the creators' picks. At this pace, soon enough, everything is gonna be called cozy. GTA 5, Far Cry 6,
Assassin's Creed Valhalla,
Prey, and so on. It just doesn't make sense and it's heavily misleading viewers. And like, again, that is my biggest problem here. I feel like this trend in gaming where everything is being labeled cozy for the sake of it, it just makes the genre lose its meaning and essence, and this genre means a lot to me. And yes, I will argue cozy is a genre now, especially when we have game developers using the term cozy to describe their game. So because I love to learn from you and this channel has always been about sharing thoughts and ideas, I wanted to address this here. In my previous video covering cozy games coming in May, I separated the list in half. So you had games that are usually agreed they will fit into the cozy genre, including ones that have puzzles and platforming, two elements that I really don't like and they make a game instantly stressful for me. However, in the other section of the video, I mentioned games like Zelda, which depends on what is cozy to you, but I surely did not add Dead Island 2, even if chopping zombies' heads and limbs off will make me personally feel relaxed and cozy. Like, it just doesn't make sense. The viewer is not looking for Dead Island 2 when they searched for cozy games in May. Guys, like, am I going crazy? It just doesn't make sense. Heck, I even had a wonderful collab drop on the channel where different content creators shared which JRPGs evoke a cozy and relaxed feeling for them. So I'm not here to gatekeep, but I think it's very important to be clear from the start what that game is going to be and not mislead your viewers. Some lists are just taking it to the extreme, and I'm not here to call out channels or websites because we don't do that here, but I just want to know and kind of reached an understanding to at least better curate my game picks moving forward, as I never want to mislead my community. So let's have a bubbly discussion about it down in the comment section. When you search, personally, cozy games to play in 2023, cozy games to buy on the Nintendo Switch, stuff like that, what are you looking for? Are you looking for first-person shooters, or are you actually looking for games that are objectively calming and relaxing? Now off to my 10 out of 10 cozy games. Remember, this list is mine, it's very subjective, and it's gonna be different than yours. So if you want to share yours, definitely do, and maybe I'll find a few picks that I never heard of before. I've spoken about Cozy Grove numerous times on this channel, and I have a review for it if you want a more in-depth breakdown of its gameplay mechanics. This is the perfect pickup, play for 30 to 60 minutes before bedtime or before you start your day kind of game, because despite it offering over 50 hours of content, things are locked on a day-to-day basis, so you have to wait for the next day in real life to unlock new quests. So I feel like this game is perfect when life is just a little bit too crazy, we don't have enough time to play a game, but we still want to make a little bit of space for gaming in our life. In Cozy Grove, you play as a spirit scout who arrives on this colorless island and needs to help different ghosts to bring color back to the land. So every day you're going to take a look around the island's forest and see which local ghosts need help, and these are mostly in the form of fetch quests. When completed, you'll see this cute expansion of color around the ghost area. Additionally, you have a wide range of items to craft, so you can decorate your home as well as the outside area. You can buy tons of clothes to customize your your character. You can also go fishing, foraging, and enjoy all these tasks at your own leisure. And the fun part is that the game's night and day cycle syncs into real life, meaning if you log in at daytime, it will be daytime in your game as well. This game is also perfect for you if you burned out on Animal Crossing, but you still want something to, again, enjoy as part of your daily life, but it also brings fun storylines for the ghosts that will happily share more about themselves with you if you help them out. Plus, the music is so relaxing. Many of you ask me about different music I use in my cozy game videos, and many times it's actually one of the soundtracks from Cozy Grove. I cannot recommend Cozy Grove enough. I think it is a definite 10 out of 10 cozy game. Here's one extremely underrated cozy game that I rarely see mentioned in lists, and even though I mentioned it before on the channel, I believe it deserves more love. Haven Park has been compared a lot to Short Hike, a cozy game that I think I need to try out soon, so I can't tell you how similar they are, but let me tell you the gist of it. Basically, you play as this cute chick called Flint, and Flint can pew pew if you want it to, so that's pretty adorable, but you're not here for the pew pews, you're here for the gameplay. You're trying to help your grandma keep her park up and running, so you have this open world kind of game where you stumble across new people and they have their desires for a camp, so you're gonna assist them to build that. Not only are you building the different things that they ask you for, you also need to gather different materials because they're required for different structures. But the much more interesting part is that these campers have their own stories to share, but you also have to pay attention to what they're saying because they can reveal some hidden treasure that you can find along your way. One of my gripes with this game is that because it pushes you to explore, finding things can be a bit difficult using the map provided, so you will have to memorize your way around the park. You're also going to level up your character and choose which new abilities to have. Do you want to run faster, unlock new buildings, or see further during your exploration? You can choose whichever skill that suits your playstyle best. So if you're looking for a fun 3 to 4 hour journey with a cute and charming game that is all about a cute little chick that can pew pew, then Haven Park should be on your wish list. Now, I've shared my love for the ocean a few times, and that explains some of the ocean-themed tattoos that I have. So when I learned about Abzu, I had to try it, and boy was it a pleasant surprise. This game's art says it all, because it's literally about immersing yourself in a beautiful adventure of marvelous music and mesmerizing graphics that will leave you in awe. Here you are discovering the depths of the ocean, and you're going to enjoy how fluid and smooth the controls are, because you're not in charge of doing that much. It's more of an atmospheric adventure that definitely has an ending, but will also let you simply meditate if that's what you want to do and enjoy the ocean's ecosystem. So here you are scuba diving in this ancient fallen civilization, and you'll come to see some sunken temples, and you'll be surrounded by ocean creatures and see them interact with each other and with you. Even when you get close to danger, the game doesn't really punish you or stress you out. My only downside is that the game is a 2-hour journey, and £14 is on the more expensive side, especially when there's not much replayability value here. But somehow the effort put into the music and graphics explain why this game is on a higher budget. So if you love the ocean and want to experience what it's like to go deep into the ocean without you physically going to scuba dive, definitely check out Abzu. When I was compiling this list, I had to deeply think about why would I say a game is a cozy 10 out of 10, and House Flipper kept coming to my mind, even though I had one gripe with it that usually annoys me the most when I'm playing. But other than that, I must say it's one of the best cozy games out there. As the name suggests, you flip houses and get to transform them from broken, messy, and dirty properties to clean, sometimes even majestic, well-kept houses. The coziness comes through you cleaning up the house and just having a podcast or movie playing around as you complete your chores. You will sweep the floor, clean windows, install new utilities, and then set your property in the marketplace to sell, buy another house, transform it, rinse and repeat, all while also building your own house in the game and using some of your savings towards it. So every time you successfully complete cleaning up a house, you get this feeling of satisfaction that is very hard to explain. It just gives you these small steps to follow, and when you complete them, you feel like, yes, I've accomplished this. House Flipper also introduces a set of skills to invest in, which will make your play sessions a little bit easier as time passes by, so you can get better equipment, make painting walls faster, or even placing tiles less annoying. My one gripe though is that 100% completion mark, where sometimes you cannot find the last bit of dust for the life of you, and you keep just going over and over again to see where was it left, like where is it, and you just start to stress out a little bit. Regardless, I can't not recommend you try House Flipper, and honestly, I am over the top excited for House Flipper 2. Garden Paws made it to this list as when I created my 10 out of 10 farming games list. Check out the pinned comments if you're interested in that one. I just did not feel like it would get 10 out of 10 under the farming genre, but it definitely would under the cozy genre. I do have an in-depth video all about it. If you want me to get into the nitty-gritty of its gameplay, I'm gonna leave it in the pinned comment section. But the coziness of this game is first, look at how cute the animals are. And yes, you can play as a dragon, fox, cat, you name it, and customize your character with different clothing and accessories. But the fun premise is about you running your own shop, and it's very relaxing and cozy. You have to stock up on goods, sell them, and open the store from 12 till 6. Then you have the earlier and later hours to do whatever you want. You can work on your farm by planting crops and raising livestock. You can find different animals to give a home to on your farm. You can expand the town with new buildings. You can fulfill quests from different villagers, glide around the land, and explore, forage, or decorate your farm however you want to. There is rarely a dull moment with Garden Paws, and the vast amount of flexibility that the devs give you as a player is worth praising the game for. It's just an overall calming game that will give you plenty of content to enjoy. Resident Evil Village, because what's cozier than facing death right in the face, and what's more relaxing than overcoming all of the horrors that a game can evoke, and let's not forget about the emotional state that it will set you in. See how ridiculous that sounds? Come on now.
Come on now.
On a serious note, if you're enjoying this video so far, do me a favor and squish that like button. Thank you. Now let me share another marvel of an ocean-themed game that I played last year and it left me in tears, and that's Beyond Blue. This is more of a narrative adventure where you take a dive into the depths of the ocean for 8 times and you try to track sea creatures and interact with the ocean. Then when you come back up, you can call your sister and talk to your co-workers about your discoveries, and there's like this kind of like family drama happening in the background, but I'm not gonna share too much about it because that is stepping into spoiler territory. This is definitely a slow-paced game where you go from destination A to destination B and you're trying to find different creatures, but you can also watch high-quality documentaries that will teach you about sea life, and these have a ton of knowledge that you can gain. So if you ever wanted to kind of see sea creatures up close in a game while also learning a bit more about them, as well as learning about the need to protect ocean life in a cozy atmosphere, Beyond Blue is definitely the game for you. There was no way that I would not suggest 2 Point Campus as a cozy game in this video, and I 100% believe that this one is much better than 2 Point Hospital if you're looking for a more chilled and relaxed experience. In 2 Point Campus, you're working to manage a campus for a bunch of students, so you're in charge of creating dorms and bathrooms for them, making sure they have fun events and student unions to take part in, but you also have to make sure that their grades are okay, and the range of courses offered here are absolutely hilarious. Like, there's even a wizardry class. But what I like the most about 2 Point Campus is that it's so much easier and more relaxed to play than 2 Point Hospital ever was. And the AI feels a bit smarter, as the ones in 2 Point Hospital would stress me out most of the time. The tutorial is really good to teach you the ropes of the game, and then you can go ahead and build different campuses that excel in different courses and see your students actually take classes and create massive pizzas, go to concerts, study, and so on. Keep in mind though, this is a management focused game, so if that stresses you out, this probably will not be your cup of tea. This is another game that I have a before you buy for it, so if you want a more in-depth look into it, check out the pinned comments. So as I was digging deep into cozy games I played and connected with, I instantly remembered Lake and how the entire premise of it is just so cozy and relaxing. You literally deliver mail to townsfolk, drive a truck, and enjoy the scenery. And while you're at it, you're also unfolding the story of Meredith, the character you play as well as learning more about Providence Oaks, which she decided to visit as she takes break from her career in 1986. The game lets you decide what you want to do, and this is where the slice of life elements come to play. After you finish delivering packages, you can choose whatever you want to do. You can chat with the townsfolk, you can help them out, or simply wrap it up and go home. You have 2 weeks to do what you see fit and play at your own pace, and for that, I believe that Lake is a 10 out of 10 cozy and relaxing game that you should definitely play. Now, if you love games with some physics elements thrown in, nothing that is stressful or confusing at all, I'll have to add, Donut County might interest you, and it was surely a 10 out of 10 cozy game for me. This is a narrative-driven experience where in each level you control a hole, literally, and you're trying to drag everything around you. Describing this game is hilariously weird, but you can only get rid of small objects in the beginning, but the more objects you throw in the hole, the bigger it gets, meaning the bigger items can be your next target. And this all ties into a story about the greediness of a raccoon who refuses to admit that they were wrong, and somehow all of their friends and town as well as themselves ended up locked up in this hole. The game is so simple, yet the physics mechanic feels so rewarding as you try to position the hole in different positions and steal more and more items, plus the music adds to the experience. You can also combine different items and see if they trigger certain effects, like maybe launching fireworks. So yeah, despite how crazy Donut County probably sounds to you, I really think it's a 10 out of 10 cozy game. Let me ask you this, did you seriously think I would wrap up a video that is all about 10 out of 10 cozy games and not have fantasy life in it? I refuse to let the 3DS die down on my channel just yet, so if this video makes one person buy Fantasy Life, or at least launch it and say hello to it, then my job is done here. Seagulls are having a party outside. Where do I even start? This game is all about exploring 12 classes which you can assign and change when you want to, and each gives you a list of added benefits to your character. So a paladin will let you fight with a sword, a hunter introduces bows, a miner will let you start mining, woodcutting lets you cut down trees, etc. Moving to the story, you're trying to figure out why chunks of doomstones crashed into Riveria all of a sudden, and the quest will introduce you to different cities, each with their own villagers, biomes, and requests from NPCs. So you end up having so much to do in Fantasy Life, but you can just take things at your own pace and gradually level up your character. So until we get a release date for the Fantasy Life that is coming to the Nintendo Switch, definitely check out the one on the 3DS if you haven't. I promise you, you are missing out. Squish the like button if you enjoyed this video. Stay bubbly, stay positive, and I'll see your gorgeous self in the next one. Bye! Thank you to my Patreon and YouTube channel members who make videos like this possible. Links are in the description if you want to support me as well. And a shout out goes to the Game Dimension, Faye, Jacob, Stephanie, Steven, Dark One, and Jake Logan for going the extra mile. Thank you guys so much for the extra support.